All right, guys, to wrap up, what I want you to do is I want you to create two light fixtures. Let's do one will be a pendant, and I want you to have it have something from Rhino, and then also something that proves that you can kind of control the parameter of hanging. Um, if you come up with a solution that you just want to build a sconce and you just gotta show how you're controlling parameters to initiate it, and it can't be a parameter. It's just like giving it the height. So we can talk about that if somebody wants to do a sconce. Then I would like you to also build some piece of furniture to bring in from Rhino. It has to be a little bit complex, just so we can see kind of how you're thinking about it. You'll be using Grasshopper in some way, so I want you to kind of show off that. And then I guess the third thing would be to show some kind of strip lighting or neon fixture. So I guess there's three things. Um, so that's it. So we're going to go into a little bit about how to present your drawings, because this is just a kind of isolated set. We'll end up putting it into your other Revit model under just a sheet and import a set of drawings. But so you're at the point where you're going to end up starting to try to show kind of final presentation drawings through Revit. So I want to just show you a few things. The first one might be that if we want to kind of go into presentation mode where we have a Poche, one way that we can do this, we have to do it by each type. There's not a really great, I mean, there is a way, but I haven't fallen in love with it. What you'd do is you'd go into the scale pattern or scale fill pattern, and you can turn on the solid fill, and you can decide on what color it is. I mean, if you want it to be orange, it could be orange. And so every wall that wall would have that color. I'm not really indicating that I want that. But I think the default is always black. Um, Let's try that again. The default should always be black. Uh, but there are times when going a different color, like a gray or something like that, or a bright color might be in play. The other thing that we're going to do is, well, let's just kind of roll through this. So if you had a different wall type, you just want to control that also. Um, let's talk about shadows on plans. That is a choice. I'm not going to make that for you, but I do want you to show shadows in this case on this project, just so we can kind of talk about it and I can kind of walk you through how to kind of do that. So I'm turning on a few things. I'm turning on the smooth lines with anti-aliasing. I'm turning on wide lines for silhouette. So things that are in silhouette will get a little bit of a punch. Um, on shadows, yeah, I'm going to turn those on. And then I'm going to go into lighting, and I'm going to use a couple of things. I'm going to set the sun, to always come from a certain angle. This again is a choice. I think top right sounds good. I could see top left also. And then I'm going to say okay there. And then I'm going to use what the 70-50-20 rule, which means the sun's going to be 70, the ambient light's going to be 50, and the shadows are 20. They always have the shadows turned way up. It's too dark, way too dark. In fact, I could almost go with the 70-50-15 rule on this, but 20 is fine. I think 20 will get us what we need. One thing you might notice I'm getting a shadow from my neon light, which is a little weird. So you're going to learn something else. I don't know if you're getting that. It probably depends on the wall you placed it on and whether or not you did a neon light. But this is important. I'm going to show you how to turn that off. It's not really helping with the plan because it's just this like line barely even seen. So what I'm going to do is I went into its family. I'm going to go to visibility settings, and you have a chance to basically turn on or off the visibility of that object depending on what level you're on and then what view you're at. So I'm going to turn it off in plan, and in fact, I'm just going to have it be turned off for every detail level I have. Say OK, and then when I finish it, it's gone. So that's just a quick thing. So the other thing, let's go into section. All right, so a couple of things. I'm going to now need to edit my floors and throw on that same solid fill. I'm just going to copy that because I'm probably going to use it a couple of times. And I don't know what that is. And then I'm going to go in and add these. Paste that in, apply it there. Looks like these walls need the same treatment. I don't know what that is. Oh, that's in the background. Got it. Okay. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I think the things that I'm missing are right here. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that boundary into level 1. That's fine. And I'm just going to move that to the outside of the wall. I probably should lock it, but I'm pretty much done with this model, so I'm not going to worry about that. All right. Well, that's pretty good. Okay, the only thing that I don't like is right here. That doesn't look so good. So you're going to learn one other thing. It is a filled region. So when you finally get done with a lot of your drawings, you can like draw on top of them. You would use that a lot for like detailing. And when you do that, you oftentimes, need to use a region fill to kind of hide something that you don't want seen, something that doesn't look quite right at that scale. But in this case, I'm going to use it to just fill solid black this region. And you can see I'm not being horribly careful because I got a black region around it. And so suddenly now I have a really pretty good plan going forward. I think the only thing I might edit is that this brick is looking a little strong. So what I might do is just go into that common brick, and I'm just going to turn the brick pattern down to a gray, and then see what that, yeah. In fact, I might just go just a tad lighter. Quite there, right there. Okay. Okay, so I have that section. If that section does it, I mean, I think let's just have everybody do 2 sections. So I got a section kind of looking at the, okay, so that's looking that way. Just going to add a section looking that way. And I wonder why the other, it's unclear to me why that is. All right, so I've learned something new in this 2024. You have what's called working sections. And then when you place one, it's just a building section. It could also be a wall section. A wall section would be like just through one wall. Um, that's kind of cool. So when you first create it, it just comes in as a working section. Once I flip it over to that, now it's a now it's a wall section. All right, who knew? Okay, so we'll have those two. One thing on wall sections, please break them. Right there, you can see what I'm doing. It is bad form to have your wall section line go through the entire plan. The reason for that is that it looks like it's an actual object when you do that, as opposed to being a symbol. So cleaning up your section lines is important, and something like this would be good. Um, you can also kind of you can edit these. I think you can import different types of annotation for that. Let's just see what we have here. Could be wrong. I thought there were several different. Here we go. So you could bring in various heads if you like something that's a little bit different. Um, Actually, I'm not finding anything that's all that relevant to me, so that's cool. The other thing you can do is, I saw this little symbol here. It cycles through various ways that you might want to show this. So if I was to insert one of these sections, heads, let's say the tail, I'll just grab one of the tails, build, okay, open. Hmm. Yeah, let's go with that one. You can see I have kind of more simplified, kind of more typical of what you've probably been taught to make it look like. So anyway, you can play with that too. Keep it simple, but do keep it consistent, whatever you do. So I'm going to go with that. And let's see, what else do we need to do? All right, so we're gonna have a plan. You will have a and that's kind of one of the annoying things about these sections is that you do have to modify each one. And it looks like we have kind of a problem with that section, so I'm gonna take a look at why that is. So here it's cutting through. Now I'm not going to have any elevations, but we're just going to kind of look at what's going on that section. Okay, so something is off. So something new. That symbol was disappearing because it hides at scales. coarser than this, so I think many of my drawings are at a weird, eighth inch. So anyway, that's interesting. Okay, so now we can go to the various sections, clean it up. Add that Poche. So we'll have two sections. We'll have the floor plan, and we'll have a ceiling plan. I think what I'm going to ask you to do is essentially just put these out on the sheet. So I would print these into PDFs. So, and I don't know if it's going to be eighth inch or quarter inch. I mean, we can go with eighth inch, I guess. And then you also have your renderings. So I want a series of renderings. You choose how many you need. I would suggest that you give, obviously one quality image of each in kind of perspective mode, maybe a close up, and then one that completes the entire fixture or furniture. So maybe two per would be kind of the minimum. And so then we're just going to print. So in each view, when you're ready, I mean, I think it might be a good idea to have the graphic scale. I want all these to be at quarter inch. I think that'll fit nicely. So if we do that, this eighth inch needs to change. The scale factor here needs to change to 48, so not 96, 48. What that is how many quarter inches are in a foot. You probably know that from when you're in NVD and doing scale. But that's how you change that to quarter inch. As far as the other drawings, sections, and whatnot, just make sure you're zoomed into them. And let's see, we do this. And make sure they're all at quarter inch scale. And then I'm just going to hit print. And I'm going to print PDF, yes. Selected views. I am just going to select these 4 views. And then I think I might want to go on 11 or tabloid to make it big enough so that everything shows. I'm not sure if I'll do multiple selected or separate. I'll do multiple and see how that comes into Revit. Just going to save this, get over that. So let's take a look at what I have. Okay, don't take the section. That's one section didn't come in right. Let's take a look at it. I'm not sure why it didn't come in correctly, because the other thing that I'm doing is I've selected the views, and I also should turn this to be centered. And I have tabloid, I could have done it here, have tabloid set up. I do want to have zoom to 100%. I don't want it to be fit to page because I want these all to be scalable. I mean, true scale. And vector's fine because I'm doing a shadow. So let's try it again. Close that and retry. I'm going to find out why. All right, I'm gonna try something. Section 2 looks fine. Scope boxes. So if I go to section 1, I'm not sure why this is here. I don't know if I can delete it. I can't. I'm gonna move it down. It's obviously my crop. Here. Okay, so the crop is tight there. Now the crop is tight here. Now we should be able to get our print. Okay, now let's go into Revit and see what happens when we pull in a multiple sheet set. So if I go in and I import let's import the PDF. I'm just going to do my test room. Actually, I didn't rename it. It has this obnoxiously long name. So that's the one I'm pulling in. Pull that up so you can see. So it wants to do page 1, total of 4. I think we'll see what it brings in. Okay, so it just brought in one of the images. So then I'll just have to do rinse and repeat that same thing, but tell it to do now 2. As far as alignment goes, these should be aligned. So you're going to have to kind of work out how to put them in the right place to make a nice sheet set. So then I'll add my titles, in here and put in the sections, the whole bit. So I think, that will do it. And all right.